It's quite the find. Hello friends, and welcome back to Crow's Thrifty Finds. My name is Melanie. So first off, apologies for not doing a video last week. I said I would see you next week and then I didn't. I had plenty of sales. That wasn't an issue. The issue was I had no voice. I had laryngitis, I had the flu, I had all kinds of things, and I'm still not 100% now, but it's just that time of year, and it was a little rough. But I hope you all had some happy holidays. I know we're still kind of in the holiday season, but I've been getting a lot of sales. Like Christmas Day, I had, I think, 6 or 7 sales. So yeah, really, really good. But we're going to talk about stuff that's sold since my last video, kind of my favorite items. So let's get into it. First off, we have a Karl Lagerfeld purse. Now this was a Ross purchase. I paid $30 for this and I sold it for $60. I don't do a ton of retail arbitrage, but sometimes I do. And Ross is a great place to buy stuff to flip. And I've mentioned this in previous videos, but yeah, here's proof. So doubled my money there. Next, I mentioned that this is a bolo in my last video, and now this again is speaking to that they sell. So this is a fiber optic hummingbird that I paid $5 for at Goodwill, and it sold for $50. Woohoo! Wasn't listed for very long at all. Next, we have a Nikon Coolpix camera. I got this over the summer from a garage sale and I paid very little for it. I believe it was like $7, something around there. And then I sold it for $47. So nice flip there. People still want cameras like this. Some people don't want just phone quality pics. They want something, you know, a notch up from that. So these kind of cameras are nice and people want them. Next, we have a vintage Northwest Territory sweater. Nice, really thick sweater. It actually went not even that far away from here. So I paid $5 for this. It was new. Sold it for $39. Next, we have a Spectra clear phone. Does this take you back or what? I paid $0 for this. It was, I think, in a free box, or I got it during the curb pickup. I'm not sure, but I just know I paid nothing for it. So letting it go for $23, not so bad when you don't pay anything. So happy to see it go. Next, we have a weighted reindeer plush. This comes from Target. Now these were regular price. These were not even marked down in any way, shape, or form, but I'm guessing this particular style is kind of rare. And honestly, I don't even know if people have Target in other countries. So if you're looking for these kind of things, like, yeah, you can get stuff to flip even just from Target. But I happened to see that the comps on those were high. So I picked up a couple and both of them sold. But I'm using this one as the example. This one sold for $54. So I paid $25, flipped it for $54. Next, we have a nice Build-A-Bear. This grabbed my attention right away when I saw it at Goodwill. Look how cute it is. I'm kind of sad it's gone, and it was super soft. This is a Highlander cow. Love Highlander cows. So I paid $5 for this guy, and he, looked kind of festive for the holidays, so I figured he'd go pretty quickly in the holiday season, and he sure did. He went in like 2 or 3 days or something really fast. So he sold for $39. Next, I mentioned picking these up in the Bolo video, and again, more proof at what great sellers they are. So these are Go-Go Corey Carson cars. These actually both went to the same person. They paid $44 for one lot, and then they paid $53 for the other lot of cars. And these were just extra. Like I bought it for the playsets more so, but there were extra cars after I got all the sets together. So this I hadn't even really accounted for. But yeah, I paid $60 for the lot, for all of it. So I am well into the green right now. So yay for Facebook Marketplace for the win. Next, we have a pair of Crocs. I paid $3 for these at Goodwill. And they were brand new for $29. These are those like cold weather Crocs that are lined in fur for little kids. So yeah, glad to see those go in the winter months. Next, another Go-Go Corey Carson. I probably should have just showed you this with the car sets, but knowing that I'm already in the green from selling those 2 sets of cars, here is one of the play sets that sold. This was the most expensive set of them all, was the biggest. So this one sold for $110. Really good stuff. So definitely be on the lookout for Go Corey Carson anything, because it's all good money. Next, we have a Ninja coffee bar brewer. I paid $10 for this off Facebook Marketplace. Sold it for $53. Great flip. Gotten a lot of good stuff off Facebook Marketplace lately. I actually have a whole other video to do on a huge toy lot that I got. So at some point I have to organize that footage and get it done. But again, I've been sick, so I'm just behind on everything. But anyways, moving on, we have a Krumkaka iron. It is that time of year. If you are, I believe it's Norwegian, I think. It's popular in the Midwest, Krumkaka. They're like, kind of like, how do I describe? I mean, they're cookies, but like they look almost like waffle cones, like flattened out. If you've never had them, I hadn't before I met my husband, who is from the Midwest. So, but yeah, Krumkaka iron. Paid $6 for this. It was vintage, and it sold in 2 days for $40. Perfect time of year. Good price. I priced it good. It went really fast. Next, we have a White Fox hoodie. I know from having a preteen girl that this brand is popular. Goodwill did know that too. They had it marked up to $10, but it was like in new condition. So it was a no-brainer to pick it up because I knew I'd be able to get more. So it sold for $35. So that is a nice profit there. Next, we have Bath & Body Works. This is Coco Shea Lotion. I paid $5 for this, and it sold for $26.97. Love flipping Bath & Body Works stuff. Next, this was a really good flip. This is a Canon Hi8 camcorder. Now, folks, just be on the lookout for Hi8 camcorders in general. It's not just these Canon ones. It's pretty much any Hi8. People want them. They take videos with them, you know, why they need them over the phone. I don't know, but that's okay. It's none of my business. I don't care. I just sell them. But I know they're good. So I actually bought a lot of 2 of these for $10. So basically $5 each. They both worked. One of them had a dead battery, like it wouldn't recharge. But then I found another battery in the bag they came with. So yeah, that battery was fine. So I got 2 working Hi8s for $10. Fantastic. Sold one the other day. It took me a while to list them. I don't know why they wound up in my death pile, but they did. But I sold the first one for $95. Now I've got to list the second one, but I imagine it will go for a similar price. The only difference is it won't have the bag because the bag went with the other one. But I should be able to get some pretty good money too for that other one. So yeah, good profit. Next, we have a fun item. Reel-to-reel cassette. I like to move it, move it. So that's what this was. It's actually a pretty rare cassette, believe it or not. So you can't always get $25 for a cassette, but you could get $25 for this cassette. And I paid $5 for this at a thrift store and made just under my $20 off by 3 cents. Close enough as far as I'm concerned. So a good flip. Next, we have an Oz Great and Powerful doll. I paid $25 for this. It's new. I got it at Goodwill. Sold it for $90. I don't mind paying up for items when they're new, and I know I can get a lot for them. And perfect time of year to be getting that kind of stuff. You know, new stuff at this time of year is your big money maker, in my opinion. So unless it's, you know, a rare vintage item, then you're going to do well with that stuff too. Next, we have a North Face jacket. This was a down winter jacket. I almost kind of regretted buying this. To be honest, I was going to be upset if it didn't sell because I paid $25 for it, but it did. It took a couple of months, but it just sold the other day for $55. So yay for that. Next, I told you guys about that big toy lot that I bought from like an hour away that I need to do the video on. This is the first item from it that has sold. It was not what I would have predicted would be the first item to sell, but no complaints here. This is a Storm Wars, good Lord, Melanie, a Star Wars Stormtrooper gun from the 90s. And you know, 90s Star Wars stuff, not always great. So you have to be careful with Star Wars. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's worth nothing. So to have something from the 90s from Star Wars be worth $35 is not always going to happen. So this was a good thing to have in the toy lot, and it went very quickly within a few days of listing. And that's going to about wrap it up for this week's video. I hope to not have huge breaks anymore in my videos. Hopefully I will be healthy and I will not have to not have a voice anymore because my voice is required to make these videos. So yes, I hope you all are having a great holiday season. I hope you're getting lots of sales. Feel free to drop a comment on what you've sold lately that you were excited about. Definitely like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And until next time, my name is Melanie. This channel's name is Crow's Thrifty Finds. I'll see you next week.